Blizzard is coming for your favorite add-ons. Nogi tweeted on Twitter about an update to Blizzard's plan for your add-ons. And friends, what you are seeing on screen right now is actually a list of the top 30 add-ons. And out of the top 15, 10 are being removed from the game. Blizzard is getting serious about removing add-ons. We do not have any dates just yet, and some of this still is speculation. But because they have decided to basically remove add-ons ability to read the game's files mid-combat, they're changing the API. There is a lot that is happening. We now have some more information. On the left side of the screen, you're seeing the top 15 most downloaded add-ons. And at the very, very top, we're gonna start. These are the ones that they're getting the axe. So if these are your favorite add-ons and you downloaded them, just already start emotionally preparing because they're coming. But Blizzard has stated that anything that they remove, they plan on giving you a base UI, basically alternate version, which I'm going in optimistic. And I'm saying, Blizzard, I'm cool with you deleting add-ons as long as you'll give me an alternative that is equally as good or better. Let's go on down the list. Deadly boss mods, gone. It will be gone. We don't know when, but it is going to be gone. Up next, we got detail damage meters. Now, this one, a lot of people look at this and they might say, hey, you know what? This one doesn't seem like such a big deal because they're going to give us an alternative and it's really just a damage meter. The reason I'll say that this is a big deal is if you really use the damage details to the fullest extent, it's not just the, telling the damage and the healing in real time. It does so much. You can click on it and really get some advanced options to see, like, you can even study other players, like what did the most damage, what abilities are they using. If you are just using details to track damage mid-combat, you're really only using a fraction of the add-on. And so what I really hope they don't do is I really hope they just don't give us, one that just tracks damage and healing mid-combat, because that would be such a cheap alternative, man. Then we've got Little Wigs, which, if you guys don't know, is basically the Deadly Boss Mods equivalent, but for dungeons. That's going to be gone. This is going to be massive for the Mythic Plus scene. Between Little Wigs and some special WeakAuras that people make to track, boss abilities, even trash mobs abilities, like, this is going to be massive. Player nameplates. This one's hard for me, okay? This one's hard for me because I currently hate the default Blizzard nameplates. I hate them. Now, Ian Hazakosis did talk about this one specifically, where he said our current nameplates, like, they're just not good enough. So I appreciated that. They're just not good enough. And it's like, if we're gonna remove player nameplates, we have to make sure that the ones that are default in-game give people the information that they need. We gotta let people know, like, when a big cast is coming, when, some massive tank buster is coming. Again, they just need to give us a good alternative. However, what I will say is with player nameplates, there's a lot of customization that I really enjoy. So would it be the end of the world to lose customization? No, but it does become a fun part of the game. I have enjoyed customizing my nameplates. I do use the quasi player nameplates, which are the chef's kiss. I would love to see them give us a default plates that are good, efficient, tell us when big casts are coming out. They let us know the difference between, some basic casts that are not very scary, but then the very, very scary ones. I would love to see the difference in that, but I would also love, like, maybe let us change some colors. Big Wigs is basically an exact copy of Deadly Boss Mod. Now, this next one, I think this one might be actually an error, incorrect. I think it's speculation, but Hakili Priority Helper, a lot of people are confused about this one. It's just a rotation helper, which they are adding to the game in 11.1.7, but they didn't mention anything about getting rid of it. So I'm not sure if this one's accurate, but if they do get rid of this, it is just straight up getting rid of their own competitor. So I'm not sure about that one. The one that they're building in game, and I'm not talking about the one button rotation. That's a totally different thing. I'm talking about the rotation helper where it's going to tell you what button you should press next, but you actually have to be the one to press it. It lights up green, but I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to see. You have to stare at your bars. Hakili, the benefit of that is you can customize. You can move this bar anywhere you want, and it shows you, like, the next several buttons you should be pressing. And you can just kind of follow that. I'm just going to say it again. the rotation helper that they are currently planning to add in the game is not as good as Achilles Pride helper. WeakAuras. Oh, this one is controversial because it's the entire add-on. Now, the reason this is crazy is because WeakAuras actually allows you to have a lot of add-ons that are not combat based. Like, I like mine that lets me to teleport to all the dungeons. Like, I can open up the dungeon finder for Mythic Plus and it lists all of my key times at the bottom. I can just click on it and teleport to that dungeon. I love that. But if they remove the entire WeakAuras add-on, I can't even do that. So many people do so many things with WeakAuras. So this ends up being true, which it seems like it is, because again, if add-ons can't read the game's API, WeakAuras won't work, I'm pretty sure. That one, I think out of every add-on we've talked about so far, this one is gonna make people the most angry because they don't have any plans to bring that other stuff back. What they have said is we'll be removing combat-based add-ons and giving you an alternative, but they do not plan to give us all the alternatives that WeakAuras give us. Up next is the DBM version of the dungeons, which is the same as basic Little Wigs. We've already gone over that. Method raid tools. Now this one is another big one to talk about. If you guys don't know, Blizzard is also removing your ability to see any other players' cooldowns. Now, I don't really do much arena these days, but back in the day, I used to do a lot of arena. Love PvP. And one thing I always thought, I was like, yo, this seems a little hardcore, was an add-on called Gladius, or any add-on that lets you track the abilities of your enemies. I am under the impression and under the opinion, you should not be able to know what your enemy is doing. Unless you physically and visually see them do something, you should not be able to track your enemy's information. I think that's a little OP. Now, did I used to do it? Obviously, because if it's in the game, you're just throwing if you're not choosing to use it, but everyone else is. But like, I always thought that was a little hardcore. But they're not just removing that in the game. They're removing the ability for you to track your teammates' cooldowns. And this has people up in arms a little bit. So if you know the add-on called Omni CD that tracks your teammates, cooldowns, offensive cooldowns, other add-ons can also track your teammates' interrupts so that you can, make sure that you are not all interrupting at the same time. That one is huge. So the reason I bring that up is method raid tools. As someone that used to be a raid leader myself, they are actually going to be removing your ability to track your teammates' healing cooldowns. Now, I'm not necessarily against it, but I will say that I'm sad. I'm sad about it because I love when I'm mid-raid leading and shot calling, I love the problem solving that goes into it, where like I can see, okay, my what abilities are coming up here, and I see that, my Resto Druid has Tranquility. I see that my Warrior has Rally available. Like, I see these things and you kind of start problem solving in the moment. I really, really, really enjoy that. But I will admit it is a very unnecessary complexity to the game. So I don't think it's like the wrong move. I'm just a little sad about it. I think for the health of the game, it's probably better. But what I also do think, it's going to really make the value of the 21st man even more important now. Someone who can track all that and call it all out, because they won't be able to see it. The players will not be able to see it themselves. Even Max himself, the raid leader of Team Liquid, has said himself that WeakAuras and add-ons, he's like, they do half my job for me. He actually says, I was watching a video last week, that one of his favorite fights in all of World of Warcraft, I forget which boss he said, but his reasoning was because I felt so valuable. He's like, we couldn't figure out a way to get the add-ons and the WeakAuras to basically tell us what to do. So he's like, so I was really responsible to lead my team. And he's like, and it just felt good for my role to be needed. And so I think what's gonna happen with all of this stuff being removed in a raid team, not just Race to World First, but just in a normal raid setting, I think we're gonna see raid leaders or shot callers, because I don't think they always have to be the same person, but I think shot callers, we're going to see them really begin to shine. I think we're going to see them really begin to stand above the others who can really they can do all of that processing, all of that thinking. They can do all of that in real time. Last one they removed from the game, but they did already say they're doing an alternative, is GTFO. That is the one that makes some noise when you're standing something bad, and then it tells you to get out. But they did say they're going to give us an alternative, which I think is really good. And they even mentioned how they might even allow us to do some more audio cues for other things in the game, which I think is really, really sweet. Here is the rest of the list. Again, these are not the top 10 that are being removed, but other ones, more deadly boss mods, threat plates, voodoo, heal bot. Some people are gonna be bad about that, dude. Personally, I'm okay with it. I've never used it. I don't personally like it, but what are you gonna do? Bigwigs Classic. I think Bigwigs Classic just tracks, in retail, it tracks old raids. Okay, cool. Then DBM PvP mods and big debuffs. But friends, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about them removing some of these add-ons? I'm telling you, Blizzard, they're getting serious. They're getting serious about removing your add-ons. And again, my final thoughts, I'm actually totally cool. I'm totally cool with them removing add-ons as long as they give us good alternatives. As someone that's played a lot of Final Fantasy 14, I like no combat add-ons. But Blizzard, please hear me. Don't give us the dollar version alternative. Like, this is a big moment for you to earn a lot of respect. You will lose it if you don't give a good alternative. And right now, cooldown manager, it's just not as good as WeakAuras. The rotation helper, just not as good as Achilles. But if you can bring stuff that is better, when you remove these add-ons, don't make us wait 6 months. If you remove the add-ons and immediately give us a equal or better alternative, I think this will actually be a massive change for the game, and I'd actually be very, very excited for it.